Hi all, welcome to my case study presentation. So in this presentation, I'll be discussing about empowering life flow transition of my client. So let's move into the presentation in detail to know more about my client. So these are the contents of the whole presentation, which includes phases in counseling process, the process outlining the path of discussion, client statements that caught my attention, client barriers and solutions, summarizing the whole counseling process and the reflection, counseling barriers and solutions as a counselor for me, and the references. Phases of discussion. So these are the different phases that I intended to include during the counseling session. So my client is in the age group of 25 to 31 and she holds a post graduation in management. Further, she worked with few companies after her studies and got married in the year 2018. However, a life role transition happened when she became pregnant during the pandemic, that is in 2019, and was asked to resign from her job to take better care of her health. So she is now facing challenges in life role as an aspiring applicant for n number of employment opportunities and a lovable mother. So actually she is been stuck in between these two phases and wanted to find a place or do something that will give her recognition. This is the process, the whole counseling process. I would like to brief my whole counseling process. So, during the initial stage of counseling process, my client, Mrs. TVP, I would like to name her as TVP, was not that comfortable in sharing this voluntary counseling with me. So, as we don't know each other personally, however, I asked an ice-breaking question just to create a rapport and make her more comfortable with the counseling process. So I started about the confidentiality of the discussion which is going to happen and introduce myself. Of course, I told her that this will be a confidential discussion and whatever she shares here will not be discussed with anyone outside this counseling session. So next I welcomed her, of course. So I welcome her like this, like Mrs. TVP, it is great to see you. What like we even discussed about the weather, I would say, because that day it was very rainy for me outside. So we had a small ice breaking, in what should I say, ice breaking discussion. Indeed, I asked her an ice breaking question to her, like, what strength do you feel you bring to this table, like maybe to this discussion forum. So she told me like I think I'm a good listener and people say that I'm an empathetic and easy to talk person. So I after hearing this from her, I think this helped me uh, focusing on her skills and created a sense of empowerment and positivity in the session. So I replied to her that okay, that's great. I sense a great conversation ahead. So gradually from this, I started asking her some open-ended questions wherein she became more comfortable and started sharing her stories from past. I was able to understand the values she hold in their life. She is a very positive and compassionate person, I would like to say that indeed. So during the session, she shared the challenges that she has now in terms of career restart. Eventually, we found some opportunities and solution that will address her challenges. So these are were the briefing of like what the whole process went like. Next, I would like to discuss few client statements that caught my attention. So these are few statements that from my client which caught my attention and which helped me identifying my client's viewpoints and emotions. So I must say that giving detailed attention to these statements has helped me throughout the counseling process. So first statement, I see a lot of competition everywhere. I also wanted to be in that race, and so this indicated that my client have a high expectation on herself and self belief in her skills and interests. So she is a very positive person and I felt that positivity throughout the counseling session. So next statement, as it like, I will not lose hope. I will if I fail once, I will try again and again. So this statement about not losing hope after failure indicates she being a very determined person. So she wanted to identify potential learning opportunities and invest her time in that. So also the commitment to trying things repeatedly suggested a strong willpower to overcome challenges within her. So the next statement, which created a small confusion in me, because even though she is a very positive and determined person, she has a little uncertainty about her skills. Here the client was questioning whether her skills are still applicable given changes in the industry or job market. So this contributed a feeling of uncertainty or insecurity within her. Further, when I just when I just reviewed, I would like when I just reviewed the statement, what she just said, I understood that she has already encountered a similar situation after her studies. So it is clear that this is not the first time that she has faced difficulties. So it suggested that the client has encountered and managed challenges in the past, which will contribute to her coping abilities, of course, so she can overcome the current challenges also. So towards the end of the session, she also added that she has not done relevant research about labor market. Like, researching about labor market will be new for me. However, I understand the need of research now. So, however, she told me, like, now onward she'll be doing the research as she see a lot of changes in the industry. So this indicates her willingness to work and try new options in career planning. So further, she also told that, I think that I must use this gap as a potential learning opportunities. I was very happy with this statement. I would like to add that indeed, because further, she being a very a positive and determined person, and she wanted to invest herself in a continuous learning. Herself told me that she will be using this maternity gap as a potential learning opportunity using online learning websites. So these are some of the client challenges and solutions which we discussed throughout the counseling session. First challenge was uncertainty about existing skills. Even though my client has a lot of skills, she was unsure about her skills as of now in the current labor market. So I asked her to focus on her unique skills, take some online learning modules and assessment, and check for mentoring from her previous colleagues, managers, etc., which will surely help in her career planning. Second challenge was lack of opportunities and competition. I asked her to check for volunteer position, join any freelancing network, and these two will help her gain some experience. And in freelancing, she can also gain some she can also brush up her skills and core competencies, because she can choose the freelancing work her own. So, and of course, she need to be an active participant in these two sections, like whether she is volunteering or doing a freelance work, she need to be an active participant. So next challenge was lack of initiation. She lacked initiation power. So she had a lot of plans and objectives at her, but I asked her to initiate the plan at first, so that everything will slowly come to her. So second thing, she can attend online webinars or related activities where she can improve her confidence of initiation. So these are some of the challenges and solutions which we discussed. Here, I would like to summarize the counseling process which I had with my client. Being a people-centric person, she has a great skill. So, with focus on understanding and connecting with others, she can excel in the role that involve teamwork, leadership, customer service, and effective communication if she really wanted to change her career path. So, of course, her colleagues can provide insights, recommendation, and potentially even job referrals. So, volunteering not only helps them get back to the industry, but also offers a platform to enhance and acquire new skills. So I suggested her to volunteer some activities. And researching about labor market, of course, will help her to understand the gap and skills to be focused on career research. And of course, she can do some information interviews, as it is a great way to gather insight and learn about the industry's requirement and expand her network. So this is a reflection of my counseling process. So I intend to had a motivational interview, because my client really needed that. I had some open-ended, closed-end questions. I've been an active listener throughout the counseling process. I created a rapport and a positive environment for my client. I showed empathy towards my client's challenges, and indeed I had some drawing in conversations where initially my client was hesitant to share, or she had a starting trouble in the counseling process, but with some ice-breaking questions which I asked her, she felt more comfortable in the counseling process. And of course, I identified her values, belief, and her interest as throughout the counseling session, which helped me understand more about her. These are some of the challenges I as a counselor faced during the counseling session. First one was transference or counter transference. Like I felt when the client was sharing her stories, I felt that that emotion transferring to me. So I thought like I needed to improve. Like I should focus on clients' needs and response rather than allowing my own feelings to dominate the session. So second thing was to improve handling solution focused questions. I wanted to give solutions for the challenges which my client wanted from my me to say, but I have limited access to the industry knowledge and things. So I wanted to handle such kind of questions. Attending workshop or training on solution focused counseling techniques will, I think this will help me for sure. And third thing was very important for me, trauma informed techniques. So I'm unsure about trauma informed techniques, like what to ask, what to limit my questions, what organization to suggest. So I think I need to do more research about trauma informed techniques and the institutions where I can suggest my client to seek help and assistance. So these are the references. Thank you. If you have any questions or comments or suggestions regarding this case study, please write back to me in the comments or in the below email ID. Thank you.